you've been back a few weeks now.
Yeah.
How are you settling in?
Yeah, really well. Good bunch of lads. Training's been good and it's been enjoyable. Nice to be back in the town and that.
How would you compare this Cheltenham side to the one you left a couple of years ago?
Probably an older group. I'm not sure actually. I don't know, it's a tough question to be honest. I've never been stumped like that. It's a good group. There's leaders in this group, just like we had a couple of years ago. And there's good players in this group, just like we did a couple of years ago. So it's pretty similar in that aspect.
What about in terms of playing style? Is it any different? There's quite a lot of big lads here now.
I don't know, because we had a lot of big lads a couple of years ago. I think the playing style's definitely changed in terms of passing it more. Although we did pass teams, around the park in the conference. But it's definitely, we're definitely looking to get the ball down more. Sort of when I was here, it was sometimes the game plan was just boot up the pitch really. Not all the time, but some of the time. So it's definitely changed in terms of that.
Well, was it an easy decision for you to come back?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Obviously I had other interests, but when this one came up, it was just just happened like that. So
now, obviously, things change very quickly at teams in League Two. A lot of players move around a lot, but it is only just over half a season, obviously, since you were last playing for Cambridge.
Yes.
So, can anything that you know or any of your experience help with this really short turnaround between games? Have you got any insight on them?
Yeah, I know it's pretty much the same squad. I know all the players. I still keep in touch with quite a few of them, but they've got good players. There's no doubt about that. They've got a lot of talent. But it's like any team in League Two, they can be beaten. They're on a bit of a good run at the moment after their new managers come in, but they can be beaten. I'd say there's just as much quality in this dressing room as there is in theirs. So it'd be an interesting game.
Going forward, obviously, your main concern is going to be their defensive players. What do they do defensively? How are they dangerous to you as a striker?
Not sure really. You want me to start naming players for Cambridge? They've got.
You don't have to at all.
Yeah, because I get messages from them later. No, they've got good defenders. Their fullbacks definitely push on and join in with the attack, and also on the right side. And the centre halves are decent on the ball. They're decent in the air. But there's obviously ways to exploit them, just like sort of any centre halves in this league, as long as you know what it is you want to do.
And as a forward player, then, would you be looking to kind of exploit them through the middle or down the sides more?
Either, wherever the space is. Obviously, a lot of centre halves in this league, you can get down the sides of them. It's not as easy to go straight through the middle, but yeah, it's either or. Like I said, depends on the game scenario and what's happening on the pitch at the time. Now,
obviously, this week's pretty important, really, isn't it? Because there's two really big games coming up against the other teams around you in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Cambridge was one of those that was meant to be the other week, and obviously it got rearranged. But we knew the importance of it then, and it's just as important now. Even though we've got a couple of wins since then. And then on to a couple of losses. So we're looking to bounce back again and get the 3 points tonight.
As a player...
tomorrow night, sorry.
Yeah, fine. No, it's all right. But I mean,
tonight,
it's good though because we'll be playing this tomorrow. So
perfect. Tonight, then.
Yeah, there we go. As a player, and in a week like this where you have got those two tough games, I don't know whether there's any more. Any more stress pre-game.
No, not necessarily. I don't think you can think like that. Well, I certainly don't. You should prepare right and go into every game with the same mentality. Obviously, if it's last game of the season and you need to win to stay up, that's obviously going to play a factor. But at this stage in the season, when we're still playing good football, I don't think it's a time to panic. I think we've got to be aware that we're not safe, but there's no reason to panic yet. We're still playing good football. We're still getting results. So these games this week, every game's important, especially at this stage in the season. So we'll just prepare the same and go into it with the same mentality.
Regardless, though, still 2 tough games to prepare for. What kind of training regime do you prefer in a week like this? Is it better to be fresher, or is it better to really go at it and get fired up for it?
I think every player is different. It depends how you get ready for a game. Some people like to just relax and not do too much. I like to do a bit. I like to, go all out on the training pitch, and because it's just every player's got their own preferences. So everyone's different. Just depends on what your preferences are.
Thank you.
Billy,
Yeah.
Chris also said after the game on Saturday, it's obviously fine margins in the last defeat. Is that a reason why you're not panicking as much as you would be? Because obviously it's only 1-0 really, and you played well in the game regardless.
Yeah, I actually think we deserve more out of the game. I don't feel like they tested us a lot in the final third. Similarly, we didn't test them enough in the final third, but definitely in the middle of the pitch, I think we had the better possession, and obviously possession doesn't win you games, but there were good passages of play. And I think if you're, getting stuffed every week and there's no good play, and there's a lot in the game, that's when it's time to panic. But I think we've got good players here, good staff, good manager, so we're not panicking at all, and I don't think anyone else should.
No, and I suppose as well you've shown your powers of recovery before against Macclesfield at home as well, and before you joined as well against Forest Green at home. Cheltenham obviously came from 2 goals down against that. Is that beneficial, particularly in this situation, should you find yourselves going down, particularly at home where you've come back in games? Is that beneficial to know that you've got that in your locker rather than always taking the lead in games?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's tough when you go 1-0 down to sort of recover from that, but when you've done it a few times, especially from 2-0 down against Macclesfield, I know they were down to 10 men, but still it's not easy to play against 10 men because they sit in. So I think when you've done that, it just gives you a lot of confidence and faith that you can get back into it no matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah, and since you've joined, obviously you've been limited to mainly substitute appearances off the bench, but obviously is that testament to the good work that your fellow strikers have been doing as well in those games, particularly Vaughan, who's obviously having a great
absolutely.
season.
He's having a brilliant season, and since I've come on, he's been banging them in, which is good. So yeah, definitely. I think it's building up my fitness as well. So I've been doing that. I've been working really hard to get myself back, because my game is sort of a high intensity game. So if I can't do that, then I'm no good. But so that's what I've been working on. Trying to get fitter, and I feel like I'm back to pretty much full fitness now. So hopefully, I start getting into the team, and I can just keep focusing on myself and working hard.
Yeah, and Luke came off at the end, near the end of that game. Obviously, Michael didn't confirm whether it was an injury or not. If he is injured, however, though, are you more than ready to and more than prepared to come into this team and prove yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I go into every game thinking, there's a chance I'll start today. Or likewise, if somebody gets injured after 5 minutes, you're on the pitch. So I still prepare the same as if I was going to start. Even if I'm on the bench, because like I said, you never know what's going to happen. So definitely, I'm definitely ready to be thrown in if needed.
Yeah, and do you think your abilities complement what the different range of strikes, I suppose, they have? Obviously, you've got Tyrone Bond, who's obviously more of a hold-up player, and Luke Vardy as well. Rakesh Bingham now is joined as well. Is that obviously Rakesh's recent arrival? Is that good competition for you, knowing that there's obviously other people around you raring to go in there, and it's not just you guaranteed to go into the team if someone does drop out?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have competition because it makes you up your game. You can't have a team where you just walk into the team every week, regardless if you've had a good week or a bad week or a bad game or a good game. Football's not like that. There's always going to be competition. And you're used to that by now. So absolutely, it's good to have competition, and like I said, the main thing is just to focus on myself and know that I'm doing everything right, and look to get a run of games in the team and really starting to show what I'm about.
Yeah, and finally the teams around you, like Cambridge, obviously they've only lost 1 in their last 5 games. Notts County, right at the foot of the table, started picking up some good results. Is that something that you're keeping an eye on, or is it mainly more important to be focusing on your own form rather than worrying about what's happening around you?
Yeah, I don't think it's one of them where it's like, Notts County won or Cambridge are winning and teams around us. I think you're always going to keep an eye on it, but then again, you keep an eye on the whole league. So, like I said, if it was us and them, then you probably would, but it's not. We're still, a few points clear, and we can definitely put an even bigger gap between us and the bottom two if we start winning games again, obviously. So I don't think it's one of them where you're looking at, you're scrutinising the table thinking, oh no. So,